back, everyone, to Fire Lane Podcast.
Welcome.
My name is Moses. I'm here with my wife,
Brenda.
Brenda.
What's up?
What's up? Haven't seen you in a while.
What do you mean?
Kidding. I see you every day, 24/7.
Here we go.
What?
You're gonna start making me blush and it's too early.
I always make you blush, even outside the podcast.
So, yeah,
the
but
time.
outside the podcast, like...
No one's watching you. It's just me and you in the
Yeah,
room.
but I still sound
and microphones
weird.
pretending that people hear this.
Okay, people do hear this.
Well, yeah, I know. But no one's hearing us now. We're just talking, pretending like people are going to hear this.
Well, people are gonna hear this.
I know.
Thank you to all those people that are listening,
Yeah.
by the way.
That's the reason why we keep doing it. And sorry for the brief break that we took.
We're on vacation.
We're not on vacation. We're just looking for a way to publish our podcast. The cheap way.
Well, yeah, because, okay, we are looking to make money out of it, so it doesn't make sense for us to be investing on something that we don't want to make money of.
That what?
No?
What? What'd you say?
I don't know.
You said we wanted to make money out of it, so it
We're
doesn't.
not looking to
okay.
make money off of it.
I'm like, that's how you make money. You invest money. Like,
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, we're not looking, like, that's not our purpose.
Our goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we're not like, oh, we need to invest, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why.
Let me fix your mic before
Why?
it falls. What do you mean why? It doesn't fall. It was like falling over here. All right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, sorry for that brief break. We found YouTube was the best source
For now.
at the time. We actually found another source too, so you might see.
Thanks to our friend.
Yeah, shout out to them. They know who they are if they're listening. But
She
yeah.
does know who she is. She's
Yeah.
like, that's me.
But yeah, you might soon be seeing maybe even this podcast and all our previous podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and all those major publishing arenas or whatever we call them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, look forward to that. For now, our main one is YouTube. So we have a YouTube channel now. We're official YouTubers. So hit that like button, subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so you get notifications whenever. And see you next time. Okay.
Right now we have like 4 subscribers, right?
Hey, those 4 subscribers are keeping us alive.
Yes, good job, guys.
Thank you, Mom.
We love you. I don't think she even has a YouTube.
Thank you, Grandma.
Especially not your grandma.
Hey. Thank you, Tatarabuela. Anyway, this installment is, as you saw in the couple of past episodes, we have a new segment called Fire Talk.
Fire.
So, like we
that
mentioned,
he came up with. Genius.
right? We came up with it in the spot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But as you heard in our first episode, some of the topics we're going to talk about in this podcast are going to be topics that will fire you up. But you were warned.
You were warned. My hands smell like chorizo.
Whoa. Whoa.
No, okay, I was cooking before we started recording, so.
Whoa. I just got home.
I wasn't making
What are you talking
riscada. Anyways.
So you know you're
Sorry.
Mexican.
You might have to edit that.
So this is the realest podcast in the world, man. There's no editing in this thing.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is going to be the second part of that. Because we're going to talk about a very sensitive subject.
Very sensitive.
Some people are going to be like,
Whoa.
yeah.
Whoa.
Some people may agree to our views. I know a lot of them won't.
Mm-hmm.
But just as we respect your opinions, we hope that you respect ours, even though yours are wrong. JK. So today's topic is abortion. And as you read from the title of this video, you might think we're pro-choice, but you're wrong, in a way.
Okay.
So you already know the what they're arguing, right? Like some people are pro-choice.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are pro-life, right?
Okay.
Do you know this or no? Kind of, not really.
Sort of. I mean, I don't. It's not like I look into this stuff. Like I already know my belief and what I.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking into like, okay, do I want to change my mind or?
Well, now it's a bigger deal because it's going into politics and going into law, and can definitely affect the future of our kids, our kids.
Of course.
Our kids, meaning our legacy. Mm-hmm. Why is our cat playing under the door?
He's messing this up.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Anyway, that's what happens when you have cats. So, yeah, by the title of this podcast, you might think we're pro-choice. But we are pro-choice, but not pro-choice killing a baby. So
why don't you first talk about why you wanted to talk about this?
I just told you because it's going into politics.
So that's why, like...
Well, because...
I mean, I feel like there's something bigger to you wanting to talk about abortion.
From my research, and some people might think I'm talking out of my butt, but the content that I watched came from people who have been in the industry for a while, and even people who have gotten that done. So I think the content that I watched was credible enough for me to think like that's horrible, no matter what anyone says.
Yeah, and when you told me about this topic, like I was a little bit hesitant at first. Don't start. But I did like feel that it was something that we needed to talk about, just because not just because it's in politics now, but because it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it, like, I'm hoping that in a way... It's a
talk that maybe we will have to have with our kids.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that in a way, like, we're able to, like, you know, kind of, I don't want to say influence, but kind of, like, have people see a little bit of, like, you know, that side of things.
Yeah.
So.
That's our neighbor's bike in the background.
Do you not have to explain every noise?
Well, they're going to be like, what the heck is that noise in the background? Where are they recording? We're recording in our house.
A third voice. Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I heard this voice in this time at this minute. Who else was with
Let
you?
us know.
Just kidding. It was just us two. But anyway, so I don't know how I got into this. I just I don't know. So I like to watch discussions of certain topics to see what people think and how they, I guess, defend their points of view. And sometimes it's dumb. Sometimes, all right, I get it. And this one, I watched so many that I just went hardcore pro-life. But at the same time, on this one particular video, this guy explains that he is pro-choice, but he's not pro killing a baby. So meaning that you don't, like, if you get pregnant and your baby's growing inside you, you don't have the power to say like, hey, kill it and get it off my body. Because that's a separate life. And in this podcast, I'm going to try to cover every single, I guess, argument you can make against that. Like I saw in the videos. Like one is, what about rape or harassment or whatever?
Just like you were telling me.
Yeah. And from the videos I watched, they make a good point that most abortions don't happen because of that. So to say that we should make abortion legal, no matter what, it's just because a person got raped and got pregnant, make abortion illegal for everyone else. I don't think that justifies you killing the baby.
Yeah.
Statistically, most abortions out of convenience. And
course.
I watched those arguments too, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like how selfish can a person be?
Yeah.
So I watched this YouTube video of this guy who goes to colleges, and he puts a big banner of like, hey, I believe this, change my mind. And some people hearing this might recognize it, but one was he was pro-life or whatever, changed my mind. And so this girl got on and to try to change his mind, to be pro-choice. And she basically told the story kind of hesitantly. Basically, the whole time she was just stating why she would rather her have the choice to abort a baby instead of have it. And she confessed that I guess she got one or whatever. But at first she was like, I watched my mom be a single mom, raise kids, and I didn't want that for me. So that's why she got an abortion.
Wow.
And I was like, no, that's not right.
Yeah.
Just because you don't want to struggle does not mean that you have the right to kill a baby that by choice you kind of decided to get pregnant. So that's where it comes the topic of pro-choice. And I never thought about it this way. I always thought about pro-life, whatever. But I never thought about pro-choice. And this guy did point that out. Like, no, I'm not forcing you to have the baby. I'm just against you killing it. But I guess he says he believes in 4 or 5 choices or whatever. He believes in abstinence, contraception, marriage, and adoption. So 4 choices. Abstinence is the most secure way for you not to get pregnant. By you not choosing to have abstinence or use contraceptives, meaning condoms or the DUI or whatever you had, IUD.
Yeah.
Birth control.
Pills or shots or everything else that they offer.
Yeah. By you choosing, well, mainly because those things are not 100%, and we know that because we have a daughter.
Obviously.
But even obviously, even then, you choosing not to be abstinent, but still going into those activities without protection. Even with protection, you're still choosing to be in those activities. An activity that can potentially lead to you being pregnant.
Like consciously, you already know that might happen.
Yeah.
Like it's dumb to say like, well, it was like I didn't know, it was a surprise. No, you did know as soon as you decided to get into action mode. Yeah. You knew that could happen.
Yeah.
So if you are not or were not ready for a baby, then I mean, I'm not gonna say it's easy to say like don't have sex, but if that's what, like, if you're not ready, then don't have sex. Sorry.
No, I mean that's true, because these people out here saying like a woman should have the choice to do whatever with her body. At that point, yeah, the creature that's being molded inside of them, it's in her body, but it's gonna come out, and it's gonna be there. That's gonna be an external body.
Like I feel like that baby is not your body.
Yeah, you're like kind of making it inside you, and you're the one carrying it. But it's a separate life. And now with technology, now babies can be, I guess, survive outside of the womb the longer if they are born prematurely. Now they can survive outside of it in a good state now with technology. And yeah, it's not available everywhere, because that's one of the other arguments, that if a baby is born in the best hospital, then, or prematurely in the best hospital, then yeah, it should be good. But if they're born in Africa or in a third world country and the mommy doesn't want to have it, then it's better for them to cut it off and kill it. instead of letting it be raised prematurely and stuff like that. But I still think any life has potential.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what. Just because a baby is born in a third world country with very poor medical equipment does not mean it's less valuable than a baby who's born here in the States or in the richest part in the world. And those are basically stuff that triggered me into talking about this, because it's true. I mean, even the argument of rape or harassment, it's not enough to make it legal for everyone else to have an abortion, to choose to have an abortion.
Because like you said, it's not like the majority of women having abortions, it's not because they were raped.
Yeah.
It's because it's out of convenience, I feel. Maybe because they weren't ready, or they didn't plan it, or I don't know, they didn't think they could get pregnant and have sex.
Which everyone thinks nowadays.
Like, I don't want us to sound like we're judging women who do get an abortion, because we're not. Like, I just want this whole podcast to be more about like listen to what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
Think about not, like, don't be so selfish, and think about that other life.
Yeah, because here's why I made a big deal about it, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because recently, I think in New York and in 5 other states, they made abortion legal for whatever reason, up to 9 months.
No.
Or up until the day of birth. So that to me was like, okay, well, a person can definitely be planning to be pregnant. They get pregnant, and then they have trouble in a relationship, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 9 months later, the baby's about to be born, and they're like, you know what? My husband and I are not in a good place, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I want to have an abortion.
That's wrong.
Exactly.
That's so wrong.
Yeah. And what is the little baby's fault inside of you growing that you and your husband can't handle their stuff, can't handle your stuff?
Yeah.
Like it's no right for one person to say, like, I don't wanna raise you anymore because you're gonna be an inconvenience to me. And that's another argument, like, because I'm not gonna be ready to be a mom. I won't provide her with the best life or whatever. And that's the craziest excuse for you to kill a living creature, living baby, living human.
Yeah.
Just because you think you won't be able to be the best. No parent
ever feels like they're ready.
No parent ever feels like they're ready.
Like we never feel like we're the best parents in the world.
Even if you plan to be pregnant and have a baby, even when it happens, you'll be like, what are we going to do? We don't know how to be parents, blah, blah, blah. So you're never going to be ready to be a parent. Ever. No one. No matter how much you plan on it. And,
that's just wrong.
Yeah.
It just, like, my whole thing about this is that it's just like I said, people are selfish, and you don't think about all those other women that are trying to get pregnant and they can't get pregnant.
Looking for adoption.
Yeah, like looking to adopt. Like, you don't know if this baby that you got pregnant with is gonna end up to change the world.
Yeah.
You don't know if this baby is gonna, be like a blessing to other people's life. And because you were selfish enough to be like, no, well, I'm not ready, or, I'm not financially stable, or, yeah, it's not the baby's fault.
Yeah.
And that baby could do so much good in this world that you don't know. And because we were going to talk about this, I decided to watch some stuff too. And I was watching this video on this girl that she said that she went through this, and like you said, like, people just make the dumbest excuses.
Yeah.
On why they're killing these babies. and it just upset me even more. Like I couldn't even finish the video. I was like, this is ridiculous, because it's all about them and how they feel and how they're not ready and how this and like, and then like it was crazy because in this video, like, the girl wasn't even, it was like an animated video. The girl wasn't even like
real.
Yeah, she was.
But I'm pretty sure it was like based on real events.
Yeah, like she was talking about her story.
Oh.
About her abortion story, and she was saying like, I have no regrets, but do I think about like, yeah, my baby could have been born this day? Yeah. Like, if that date passes every year, am I gonna be sad? Yeah. Hello. Like, that's dumb. You have no regrets, but yeah, you're thinking of this baby's birthday. Like, I'm pretty sure if she ever decided to get pregnant and she looked at that ultrasound, she's gonna think about that baby she decided to, terminate. Like, think about that stuff. Think about what you're gonna be, how much you're gonna be feeling afterwards. How much it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want to get emotional. I'm getting emotional. I'm so gonna cry. I'm so gonna cry.
I got fired up. I'm like, we're gonna talk about this and we're gonna make people see, well, our point of view in it.
Yeah.
I think morally it's a simple thing, like, don't kill. Be responsible.
And another thing I saw that like it kind of rubbed me the wrong way was this other girl. She was talking about her story, right, and how her abortion and whatever, and she was like saying like, these people that are pro-life, like, they're pro-life but yet they're up for war. Like, they're, how do you say it, like yeah, have the
going
war.
to other countries and killing people.
Yeah, like, she's like, when is it okay to, or like the death penalty, like, when is it okay? Like, first of all, lady, you're talking about killing a baby who has not even had like the opportunity to make a choice in their life, not even like make their own decision or choices. You're talking about killing a baby and comparing it to a human being who is old enough to already know what's right and wrong. Like, it's a whole, like, you cannot compare the penalty death to abortion. Like, that was just stupid to me.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna compare this baby that has no idea?
I think how they were comparing is just humans having a choice over someone else's life. And you're right, like, an innocent baby or someone who chose to break the law and deserves a death penalty doesn't compare to a baby who didn't do nothing wrong. He's just there, and he just happens to be, you happen to be his mother that's supposed to create him inside you. Can't compare to war and people going over country and killing other people over there and the death penalty. Because, I mean, I guess war, in a way, I mean, there's no right there, of course. I mean, it's not the right way to deal with things, but at the same time, people are firing back at us too. So it's not like we're gonna let them kill us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure if someone went into your home and tried to like hurt you, you would hit back.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just gonna stay there and let them hit you. Like, people don't see that. But this baby doesn't know. So, like, if you don't want the baby, then there is moms out there that are willing to adopt someone.
Yeah.
That they need that other, they need that, like, to become a mom. Like, they want to be a mom.
Yeah.
And they can't. So you can, like, maybe it's not the best thing for you, but it, like, this baby can be a blessing to somebody else's life.
Yeah.
So
I like one line. I don't know who said it. but it's a quote that says, "A baby, it's is God's way of saying that life should go on."
Yeah.
And yeah, that's completely true.
Yeah. It's just sad.
It's very sad. And it fired me up because now it's becoming a law thing. And now politicians are okay with it, okay with women wanting to have abortions up to 9 months. And as I looked into that, I stumbled upon a video of a woman who worked with Planned Parenthood for 8 years. So they're known to, I guess, help women have abortions if they want to, or whatever. So this woman worked with them for 8 years, and she was describing how an abortion procedure gets done, and it's horrible. I think in the first few weeks when a baby is like super small but has a heartbeat and stuff, even before, the whole thing is that they keep it very secretive, like the clinic itself. They don't even, because they have to do an ultrasound to make sure that okay, there's something there or whatever, but they don't even let you see the baby. Like they don't even let you, because I guess they don't want the mom to back out or whatever, stuff like that. And basically all the doctor he goes in and just pokes around until he collects enough flesh and blood or whatever that he thinks he got the baby. And then those pieces go to someone else who puts the pieces together and confirms that the doctor got the baby. Does that not sound sick to you?
I'm holding it in so bad right now.
That sounds sick.
That sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah. Like imagine special investigators in a homicide, whatever, and there's body parts everywhere and they have to collect them and put them back together to confirm it's a person. That's what it is. Plain and simple. And politicians are okay with that. With women choosing to say like, hey, I don't want this baby to go inside of me, kill it. That's essentially what it is. They're killing it.
Of course.
At the end of the day. Because at conception, once that sperm goes into that egg, that's a separate DNA. Doesn't matter where it has a heartbeat or not, or whatever, lungs. That's a separate DNA that
was just created.
Yeah, that creation is going to have different hair from you. Yeah, it's going to have similar genetic code, but it's going to have its own separate DNA from two different people combined. But it's going to grow to become its own living human. And like nowadays, society being okay with women just saying like, okay, kill it off. If you don't want it, you have the choice. That doesn't sit well with us and our values and our morals. And if it was illegal and it really didn't affect us directly, then we wouldn't be moved to talk about it. But since now it's in 5 states, up to 9 months, that's just in 5 states. We don't know how many other states still are okay with abortion up to whatever months. I just think we're as a society we're letting people get away with stuff and not be responsible for their choices. Like you got pregnant, get over it, deal with it.
Grow up.
You chose to have sex.
Yeah.
Sex means it's an act it's a procreation act. When a dog has sex with another female dog, they're not doing it for satisfaction. Well, I mean, I guess they are, but it ends up in the girl dog being pregnant. It's like that argument makes no sense. because sex, no matter where it's human or animals or whatever, sex can end up in pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And you go into that act knowing very well that, hey, I'm gonna end up pregnant today. Doesn't matter whether you have a UID, whether you have a condom on. IUD. Oh, DUI. What is it? Doesn't matter what it is, because that's how our daughter got pregnant.
She didn't get pregnant.
I mean, that's how you got pregnant with our daughter.
Like, no, she didn't get pregnant.
That's how you got pregnant with her daughter. You had a UID?
IUD.
IUD, whatever. For 10 years, and you got pregnant at the 6th one with our daughter. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. And we weren't planning it. We weren't like, oh, and
I was excited.
I know you were. I was really freaked out.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't think I ever told you this, but like I just remembered right now that when I got pregnant with Abel, mm-hmm. our
you were
son,
contemplating it.
No, when I got, it wasn't like I planned to get pregnant. I was about to turn 21.
Yeah.
I was like super pumped up to be able to drink. Like,
legally.
Like it wasn't like, oh, I want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
But I did know that, like if you have intimate relationships with someone, it could happen. So when I did find out that I was pregnant, I did go to a clinic to make sure, like to, pee on a stick or whatever. Mm. And I remember, like, because I had already done it and it still didn't, I still didn't,
believe it?
Yeah, like, I was, like, I don't know, like, this could be wrong. Until I went and the lady was like, oh, yeah, it's positive. My heart dropped. And it was because I was like, oh, my gosh, like, what am I going to do? But never in my mind did I think, like, I don't want this baby or, like, And, like, I guess my emotions were so strong of me being in shock mm-hmm. that the lady was like, well, it looks like you're really not looking to have this baby. Let me refer you. And I just, like, got up and left. Like, she was about to start telling me about abortion. In a moment of, like, like, I haven't even processed that I'm pregnant and you're already talking to me about killing this baby. And I remember it pissed me off. Mm-hmm. It pissed me off so much that I went somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I was like I'm barely, like I just found out I'm pregnant. And you're talking to me about abortion. Like, my face is of shock of, like, wow. Like, I have a baby in me. Mm-hmm. Not of, like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Like, hey, maybe I didn't want it, but that didn't mean, like, Like, look what have happened. What would have happened if I hadn't had our son?
We probably wouldn't be together. This podcast wouldn't exist.
I probably would be somewhere else. Like, I did so much stuff because I had a son to look after.
You became a badass.
I went to school. I had a job. Like, I'm pretty sure I would have never, like, decided to go back to school if it wasn't because of him. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, like, I wouldn't have helped so many people through that whole, like, being at that job for 5 years if it wasn't because he came into my life. Mm-hmm. But you have these other women that instead of, like, uplifting you and supporting you and say, like, it's gonna be okay, the first thing they tell you is, like, it looks like you don't want this baby. And it's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I told you I was gonna get emotional.
Oh yeah, I mean, because we've been through our stuff with having babies. So I guess that just fired me up. That's why it fired me up to talk about this, because of what we went through.
Yeah.
With our daughter, with when you were pregnant with our daughter, 'cause she was supposed to be a twin. Mm-hmm. We were super excited. One of the twins didn't make it, and it broke our hearts. And after that, you got pregnant again, and the baby just didn't make it, and you're gonna have a miscarriage.
Yeah. That was another like horrible thing.
Yeah.
That, like, I remember that when they told us that they were gonna have to do a procedure, because obviously like the baby wasn't coming out, but the baby wasn't alive anymore. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't know that this just happened not too long ago.
Like a year and a half ago?
No. My miscarriage?
Yeah.
That was just last year.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that I was pregnant. But, like, this is why I also decided to, like, be part of this and talk about it, because, like, women don't realize how much you're hurting other women by you doing that, because they don't understand that, like, there's these women that have been trying to get pregnant for years and years and years and years, and they can't. And like, you as a woman, like, you're like, wow, like, that sucks. And when I got pregnant, I mean, obviously we weren't expecting it either. Kind of, we were, because I told you, like, hey, babe. But when like, we found out, obviously, that, like, we had already started going through the stuff of, like, you know, like, having spotting and stuff, and it just, like, it just hurt so bad to have to go through something like that. And then afterwards, when we went to the doctor and they said, like, there's no more heartbeat. And then I was going to have to get this procedure done, because obviously the baby was still there. Right? Mm-hmm. And I remember that, like, they call it an active abortion. And that, like, it hurts so bad to hear, because no, like, we didn't choose to have an abortion. Like, we wanted this baby. Mm-hmm. We were happy that we were pregnant. Like, we didn't choose to kill the baby. And now these women that are out there, and they're like thinking selfishly, like, oh, my life is gonna, like, change. Think about us who really want to have a baby, and something happens and you can't stop it. We couldn't stop it. We couldn't say, like, no, you know what, I do want to have this baby. Like, yeah, we wanted to have this baby, but we couldn't do anything about it. And I know a lot of women who go through miscarriages, like so many miscarriages, like, not just one. Imagine if one hurt me this bad. I can't even think of how much it hurts all these other women who go through 5 or 6 or 7 because they want to have a baby so bad. And they can't. Like, if it hurts me to think, and I pray for them every night. Because if I'm hurting over one, I can't even imagine how much they hurt. And that's why I felt like it's good to talk about this. Because, like, women need to know. And even, like, when I was watching these videos of these ladies having abortions, like, apparently, like, I'm not even sure, but apparently most of the ones that do the procedure are men.
Yeah, the doctors, the gynecologists.
Yeah. Men who don't even, like, can't even carry a baby, don't even know what it feels to have a baby. Like, I'm like, honestly, if I could work at one of these clinics, I would be convincing every woman who was there not to have it.
Well, that's the thing with the clinics, even the workers, um, they are against it. They're against it. They don't want to, and they want to quit. But the doctors threaten them like, "Hey, if you quit, whatever job you go next, I want to talk bad about you there, so they won't hire you." So they're like in a limbo where like, okay, I need money and I have to work, but if I go somewhere else,
I might not get hired.
Yeah. And so plain and simple, the answer is not to make abortion illegal, because it doesn't just affect like yeah, we're all about women's rights and everything, but that's separate from the right, because like that baby's a separate life already. Yeah, it's in your body, but it's a completely separate life. That whether it's at conception or 9 months from now, that being is separate from you and can and will live separate from you if you let the nature take its course.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess it this topic kind of hits home because of what we've been through. And also just what I've seen, it's all in all, abortion, the action of like the procedure of an abortion is horrible.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned, when the baby is in the first stages or the first few weeks or whatever, they just poke around and take it out. And but when it's in the later stages, when it's already had legs and can breathe and can taste, has fingers and everything kicks, they when a woman decides to have an abortion, then from what I heard is that they basically put the baby down. They inject them to put it down, to stop the heartbeat. And like you said, the death penalty. We do the same thing to the death penalty people. We inject them.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that to babies who are innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not okay with it. And I have no idea why as a society people are okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're not ready to have a baby. First of all, you shouldn't have been having sex if you're not ready to take responsibility for your own actions. Because your actions are going to have consequences. And I think all these laws that we're coming up with, like, it's just letting people get away with more stuff. Because abortion is murder. Legal murder. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, instead of bettering our country and making it a better place for our kids and everybody else to be in, we're just making it worse.
Yeah, but we don't realize that. We're thinking we're making it better by... Because all these people have different beliefs and stuff like that and different influences, and we're trying to mush it all up together. Unfortunately, abortion is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that, like, we have to keep our core values in place.
Yeah.
As a society. And yeah, some people may think it's wrong. Okay. That doesn't mean we're going to change our core values.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to change our opinion on abortion just because someone else doesn't agree with it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately now, I guess, I think as a society where our leaders are growing weak. That's why that's why that's why I think Trump. A lot of people hate him because he's not weak. He doesn't care what you say about him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't try to please you.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like
I'm sorry. I'm not saying that what he says is right.
Uh-huh. That we agree with what he says.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he knows what his values are, and even if they're whack or whatever, we don't know what his values are. He knows what they are. And I think as a society, we're trying to mold all these people's core values into one, and it's just gonna explode. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna work in anyone's favor. And not, what were you gonna say? Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't even know. I was gonna say that it's like you say, these politicians, it seems like they're doing things to make people like them.
It's a popularity contest.
Like, like vote for me, and like the majority of people are, I'm not saying that this is what it is, but let's say that the majority of people are okay with abortion. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna be okay with abortion so I can win. But no. Like, why? The majority of people are getting their information and stuff through social media. Like, I see a lot of people that make comments on things they don't even understand themselves.
Yeah.
Just because somebody else said, this is cool, you think it's cool now, but you don't even know what it is. Mm-hmm. And that fires me up. I'm like, dude, shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're being ignorant. Mm-hmm. It's annoying, seeing ignorant people make all these comments about something they don't understand, and then there's these other people who want to understand, and they're reading ignorant comments, so now they start thinking that way.
Yeah.
First understand what you're talking about. If you are that's why when we talk about something and through our podcast or whatever, we do research, we talk about it beforehand. We don't want to just talk out of our butt, like you say.
Yeah, because we could have ended this podcast 30 minutes ago just by saying yeah, we prefer people to not kill babies. Mm-hmm. Yep. But because we saw everyone's point of view, well, from the content that I watched, we saw okay, you want women to have the choice for abortion because they're not ready, because they might be at risk or whatever, or because they were raped. They didn't plan to have that child. There's other solutions to all of those things other than abortion. Because even if, let's say, and I thought, because I asked you this, I asked you if you were pregnant, if you were pregnant and that pregnancy could end up killing you, would you rather let the baby live or you live? And I thought about it, and either way, because it's a procedure in the end, either way you're gonna put your life on the line, because nothing guarantees you that you're gonna, even if you decide that you stay alive and not the baby, mm-hmm. you're still gonna put your life on the line because you're getting that procedure done. Mm-hmm. Right? Any surgery, even the C-section, you were putting your life on the line. Mm-hmm. So that one is it's very gray, I guess. It's not black and white. It's not a very easy decision. But I mean, rape. I think for rape victims, if they do end up pregnant, well, first of all, it does have to be up to the person themselves to seek help. Mm-hmm. Hey, I was a victim of rape. I got pregnant. I don't want to have this child. And I think there should be a program. And this is where good tax money can go into, of enrolling that woman and supporting her, and rolling that woman into like a program of adoption or whatever, of parents who want to adopt. Because in the end, yeah, you were raped, but that baby was not his fault or his or her fault. Of course, it wasn't your fault that you got raped either. It was whoever did the action. But that's an innocent life.
And again, like, you don't know what that baby will end up being. Like, I told you when we talked about this, like, what if this baby, like, ends up doing something amazing?
Yeah.
And
what if it was the Messiah?
And, like, ends up telling their story of, like, you know what? Like, my mom wanted to have an abortion, but because she didn't, this is what happened. So now the mom is not thinking about like, oh, that baby came out of me being raped. Now the mom is like, wow, like,
from something so horrible.
Yeah, something so amazing happened.
Yeah. And that's what kids are. Kids are blessings. Like, yeah, they I guess make your life hard or whatever. They annoy you sometimes. You get angry or whatever. But in the end, it's a living thing that depends on you, that looks up to you, that loves you unconditionally.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're ugly, fat, male, female, whatever, because you're their parent, they love you unconditionally. And it shows when babies look at their parents, like, they love them. Like, when my daughter just hugs me or when she wants to be with me, I'm like, oh, she loves me, she trusts me. And I enjoy that as a father.
Yeah.
And robbing potential babies from that, it's horrible. Because, yeah, it's a hard decision if you decide to have an abortion. Of course, it's hard. It's never easy. It shouldn't even be a choice, first of all.
Yeah.
Shouldn't even be an option.
I feel like if it's an option to make it legal for everybody to do it whenever they want to do it, it's like, it's going to become like fast food.
It's going to open doorways. I think that's what it is. It's going to go from abortion to like, okay, now abortion is legal. Well, now I did want to have this kid, but now he's 2 years old and he's behaving horribly. I don't want to have it anymore.
It's, you know what? It sounds like dumb, but it's like, for real, like, that could happen. Yeah, because now how people are behaving and how our society is becoming, like, it's just like,
I don't like this. I'm gonna speak out against it, and I want to change it.
And let's change it, like, for my because benefit. I don't like it.
Yeah, so it's definitely that's another thing why I wanted to talk about this, because it's a doorway. Like, we're starting. I guess we started with abortion in the first few weeks, and then now it's to 9 months, and then now it could be even after the baby's born.
I mean, like, imagine, I feel like something like that could impact even our medical field, where there's doctors who are not even going to want to practice medicine, or not even want to become that type of doctor, because it'll be legal to do it. Like, that's only going to make things worse. Now we're going to have less doctors.
Like, what's the long-term solution for making abortion legal? Nothing. It's a short-term thing. There's nothing long-term about it.
Yeah.
It's a short-term, like, you get pregnant, you decide to not have the baby, you get an abortion, that's it. Like, there's no long-term solution. Like, yeah, long-term wise, I guess women are going to have the choice to do it.
Like this girl said that people who are against legalizing abortion, like women are going to do it anyway.
Oh, that's
their... So why not just make it safe for them? But then again, you don't know, because if it's illegal, not a lot of, like, it'll close that funnel of women wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Because it won't be legal. It'll close it. Like, not everybody, they'll think about their health. They'll be like,
okay, if murder was legal, people would be murdering left and right.
Yeah.
But it's illegal. But it's illegal, so less people do it. Yeah, people occasionally do it or whatever because they're crazy. There's penalties for that. They get put in jail. They can get the death penalty. Mm-hmm. But it's illegal. Of course, if it was legal, like you said, it would be the purge, exactly. You can cuss me and I can kill you and it'll be legal.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it'll be cool, but I'm saying, like,
if it was
it'll
legal.
be okay. Like, it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think making it legal for everyone and have it available to this, like, that's another stupid argument too. Like, well, if we make it illegal, people are going to do it on themselves. Well, let them do it. Yeah, it's wrong, but it's illegal. They're going to get penalized for it. Mm-hmm. Let them do it. Of course, don't let them do it if you can stop it. Yeah. But of course, at the end of the day, it's that person's choice whether they want to do it or not. But it still should be illegal. Because at the end of the day, a murder, it's their choice whether they want to kill you or not.
Yeah.
Of course, the right choice is for them not to kill you. Whether they choose to kill you, then they'll pay the consequences.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, women still have that choice. Like, when abortion is illegal, because I believe that it will, women are still going to have the choice whether they want an abortion or not. But now, because it's illegal,
they'll think about it twice.
And if they do plan to go ahead with it, I mean, if they wish to mess up their bodies, then that's on them. Because we can control that. Mm-hmm. If we're going to have an abortion, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to find a way. You might stick, a hanger and do it on your own. But there should be consequences to that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Just like people dumping babies in dumpsters, they have consequences to that. And I think that's another argument. People might say, well, if you force women to have babies, they're gonna hold a grudge against the baby and kill it or whatever. There are consequences to that too.
Yeah. If they don't want the baby, give it up for adoption.
Yeah.
Like we said, there's a bunch of moms who can't have babies and they want a baby.
And that's another argument that people say, well, if we give them up for adoption is so horrible or whatever, that for them to be in that program is like horrible or whatever. What's more horrible is you choosing to not let that child live. Mm-hmm. And taking the chance and opportunity of having a life. Because even if they were raised in that horrible adoption foster home program, that doesn't mean that's going to define them for life.
Yeah. They can better themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, you don't, okay, so a kid might grow up poor.
Yeah.
But they might be happy because they don't know that they're poor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we're saying, like, you know what? I don't want this baby to grow up the way I grew up.
So I'm not gonna have it.
That's
that's why making it legal will open those doorways too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a sick thought to think about that.
Yeah.
Because right now it's legal because, women are not ready or whatever. But it's a doorway. If they're making it okay for anyone for whatever reason, that's a doorway to, like I mentioned before, like, hey, we plan to get pregnant. We got pregnant, but now we're having relationship problems. We got divorced or whatever. I hate his guts. I no longer want to have his baby. Kill it. And the doctors, wherever it's legal now, will be like, okay, we can do it.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And it's out of convenience.
Yeah. And couples have like relationship problems all the time.
Regardless.
So imagine like she's like, no, I don't want to have his baby. But then like 6 months later, they're back together.
Yeah.
How do you think she's going to feel?
Mm-hmm.
How much more do you think he's going to hate her?
Especially if she didn't tell him. Because that's another thing. Because after I'd done my research, I kept seeing like cases of fathers of that possible baby suing on the baby's behalf because he wanted to have the baby.
Yeah.
And the argument is, well, it's not your body, so you have no choice or whatever. Like, he's the reason why there's a baby in there.
Yeah.
In the first place.
If I mean, I don't like. I hope this doesn't sound ignorant, but if that father, it has like if that baby was born and that father has to pay child support regardless of like the status of their relationship, he should be able to say like, I want that baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's like fighting for custody before a baby's born.
Well, see,
that's what it is. I mean, if the girl doesn't want to have it, okay, well,
like
carry it.
If I had done that, would you have not been pissed off?
Yes. Very much.
Exactly. Like you would have done anything to fight. Like if I had told you like, hey, like I don't want to have this baby, would you have not done anything to fight it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the right to because you're the father.
Yeah. And it's true. And that's another thing because it's another big deal because there's going to be cases like that. A couple gets pregnant, the girl doesn't want it, the guy is excited about it because it's legal and it's her body and it's her choice, blah, blah, blah. She's going to go decide on her own to get an abortion. Well, we have the father who's kidless now when he didn't decide for the abortion to happen.
Uh-huh. Or if you don't want the baby, give it to the dad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the kid's fault he's inside your body. Mm-hmm. It's not the dad's fault that he can't carry a baby.
I mean, you could just go on and on about this stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope that if anybody is like even thinking or, going through something like this, that this talk at least helps you like look into both perspectives. And like some women, I hope that they realize that there's other women like us that don't ever wish that something like that happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, thanks, babe. You always come up with like the strongest things to talk about.
Yeah, this thing is important because a lot of people, we see it in the news or whatever, but they don't really look into it.
Yeah.
They just, like you said, they look at social media. Some people this person likes it, and this guy's cool or whatever. I'm gonna like it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna like what he likes.
Yeah.
They don't go through the research and the facts and the info.
Even if it goes against their core values, that's the sad part.
Mm-hmm.
Because if killing it's not your thing.
Yep.
Then killing a baby shouldn't be your thing either.
Nope. But
yeah, hopefully as a society we improve, we upgrade, our core values get set, and we live in a country where everyone wants to be satisfied.
Mm-hmm. But it can't be.
But we live in a world who not everyone can be satisfied.
Yeah. And just just us as humans, like, we need to start thinking for ourselves. Stop letting others do the thinking for you. Like, just think for yourself. Think about things for a moment. And make your own decisions about things like this. Like, don't let others make the decision for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that kind of goes against everything we talked about.
Well, but I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
People making decisions out of Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Like, don't let bad influences influence you to make a decision you'll regret.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But anyways, this was Fire Talk number 2. I can already sense the pressure.
Yeah,
of all the
me
people.
too. The fiery talk. But we're strong. We can handle it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me in your podcast, babe.
What do you mean? It's our podcast.
I know, but I know. But thanks a lot. And thanks to all you listeners again.
Let us know what you think of this topic down in the comments on YouTube. Click on the link below. Subscribe. And we look forward to the next episode.
Yep.
See you next time.
Bye.